The first thing Zara Kim noticed when the Meridian dropped out of whatever the hell they'd been traveling through wasn't the blue marble of Earth hanging in the void like a Christmas ornament. It wasn't even the fact that Seoul looked exactly the same as it had 3 years ago, which was both comforting and deeply weird. No, the first thing she noticed was that Earth had somehow grown a ring. Not Saturn-style ice chunks, mind you. This was different. Geometric. Deliberate. Like someone had taken a massive chrome bracelet and slipped it around the planet's equator. Well, Finn said from the engineering station, his Nigerian accent still thick with sleep from cryo, that's new. Zara floated over to the viewport, her commander's instinct screaming that something was fundamentally wrong with this picture. Define new, Finn. Because last I checked, we left in 2099, and according to my chronometer, it's been exactly 3 years, 4 months, and 17 days. According to your chronometer, sure. Dr. Reese Nakamura's voice carried that particular brand of exhaustion that came from knowing something terrible and having no idea how to explain it. She was hunched over her tablet, fingers dancing across biometric readings that made no sense. But according to the quantum resonance patterns I'm picking up from Earth's magnetosphere, we've been gone a lot longer than that. The comm system crackled to life with a voice so polished it could have been selling them luxury timepieces. Unknown vessel, this is Earth traffic control. Please identify yourself and state your point of origin. Also, please note that unauthorized time dilation events require a Form 77 Delta to be filed within 48 standard hours of arrival. Zara blinked. Did they just say, time dilation events? Finn's laugh had an edge to it. I'm thinking we're not in Kansas anymore, Commander. This is Commander Zara Kim of the exploration vessel Meridian, mission designation Tau 77 Alpha. She kept her voice level, professional, even though her heart was doing gymnastics in her chest. We launched from Luna Station on September 15, 2099, bound for Proxima Centauri. We've encountered some technical difficulties. A pause. Then, Commander Kim, please hold for verification. The hold music was jazz. Smooth, sophisticated jazz that somehow made everything worse. Reese, Zara said, not taking her eyes off Earth's impossible ring, please tell me you have some idea what's happening here. Dr. Nakamura looked up from her readings, and Zara saw something in her eyes that made her stomach drop. Fear. Not the healthy kind that kept you alive in space, but the bone-deep terror of someone who'd seen too much. The quantum signatures don't lie, Zara. Earth's chronometer is reading 2599. We've been gone for 500 years. The jazz cut out. Commander Kim, this is Director Yates of the Temporal Affairs Division. We're going to need you to dock at Station Byzantium for processing. Please follow the guidance beacons and prepare for full biometric scanning. Processing. Zara's voice climbed an octave. What kind of processing? Standard procedure for temporal displacement cases. Medical evaluation, psychological assessment, cultural integration briefing. Nothing to worry about. Earth's changed quite a bit since 2099, but I think you'll find the improvements remarkable. Through the viewport, Zara watched as sleek, pearl-white shuttles emerged from the ring structure, moving with impossible grace. No visible propulsion systems, no chemical burns or plasma trails. Just smooth, silent motion that made her skin crawl. Commander, Finn whispered, look at the continents. Zara looked. Africa was green. Not desert interrupted by green, but wall-to-wall emerald from the Mediterranean to the Cape. The Sahara had been replaced by what looked like the world's largest garden. North America showed similar impossible transformations. The Great Lakes had been expanded into an inland sea, and what used to be the American Southwest was now a patchwork of blue and silver that could only be cities. They terraformed Earth, Reese said, her voice hollow. The entire planet. Director Yates' voice returned, warm and paternal. We know this must be overwhelming, Commander Kim. 5 centuries is a long time. But you'll be pleased to know that humanity has solved most of its pressing problems. Climate change, poverty, disease, even death itself is largely optional now. We've built something beautiful here. Zara felt a chill that had nothing to do with the ship's life support. Director Yates, we need to speak with you immediately. We have information about what's coming. We have a warning. Another pause. A warning? Commander, our predictive models show no major threats to human civilization for at least the next millennium. Perhaps this is something we should discuss during your psychological evaluation. This isn't space madness or whatever you're thinking, Zara snapped. We've seen things. Experienced things during our journey that you need to know about. Of course you have, Director Yates said, and there was something in his tone that made Zara want to punch him through the comm channel. Deep space has a way of playing tricks on the mind. But don't worry, we have excellent facilities for treating temporal displacement syndrome. You'll feel much better once we've helped you process your experiences. The guidance beacons lit up, forming a corridor toward the ring. Zara looked at her crew, seeing her own doubts reflected in their faces. Finn was staring at his engineering readouts like they might suddenly make sense. Reese was gripping her tablet so hard her knuckles had gone white. Commander, Reese said quietly, there's something else. The neural activity patterns I'm detecting from Earth, they're not quite human anymore. Zara closed her eyes, feeling the weight of whatever impossible truth they'd stumbled into. When she opened them, Earth hung before them like a perfect jewel, beautiful and wrong and utterly alien despite being home. Finn, take us in, she said. But keep the engines warm. Something tells me we're not going to like what we find down there. The Meridian began its descent toward humanity's perfect future, carrying 3 people who remembered what it used to mean to be human, and a warning that no one wanted to hear. Station Byzantium made the old International Space Station look like a child's toy made of toilet paper rolls and duct tape. Crystalline corridors pulsed with soft bioluminescence, and the artificial gravity felt so natural that Zara kept forgetting she was in space. Which was probably the point. Director Yates turned out to be exactly what Zara had expected, tall, silver-haired, with the kind of ageless face that screamed, extensive genetic modification. He greeted them in a conference room that overlooked Earth, all warm smiles and concerned frowns. The important thing, he was saying, is that you don't blame yourselves for the temporal displacement. Our scientists believe you encountered a quantum eddy near Proxima Centauri. Rare, but not unprecedented. Zara exchanged glances with Finn and Reese. They'd been through this conversation 6 times in the past week, and it never got less frustrating. Director, Zara said, we never made it to Proxima Centauri. Of course you didn't. The temporal displacement would have prevented that. No, you're not listening. We never left the solar system. Yates' smile never wavered. Commander, I understand this is difficult to process. Perhaps Dr. Vance could prescribe something to help with the anxiety. That was when Reese finally snapped. We got caught in a goddamn time storm 3 days out from Luna Station, she shouted, slamming her hands on the table. For 3 years, we experienced every possible future timeline of human civilization. We watched Earth die 1,000 different ways, and we watched it achieve perfection 1,000 different ways, and guess what? The perfect versions were worse. Director Yates blinked slowly. Dr. Nakamura, that's not scientifically possible. Neither is turning Earth into a garden paradise, but here we are. Finn leaned forward, his usual optimism replaced by something harder. Director, what happened to conflict? To struggle? To people disagreeing about things? We solved those problems. The Harmony Protocol ensures that major conflicts are resolved through neural consensus before they can escalate. Neural consensus, Zara repeated. You mean you've networked everyone's brains? Voluntary participation, of course. Though I'm pleased to say that 97% of the population has chosen to join the network. It's made governance so much more efficient. Reese laughed, and it wasn't a pleasant sound. In every timeline where humanity achieves this level of cooperation, they stop growing. Stop innovating. Stop being curious about anything beyond their perfect little bubble. That seems rather pessimistic. It's not pessimism when you've watched it happen 500 different ways. Yates stood up, his patience finally showing cracks. I think we should continue this conversation after you've had more time to adjust. The trauma of temporal displacement can manifest in elaborate delusions. That was when Zara realized they were never going to be believed. Not because their story was impossible, but because the truth was incompatible with the perfect world Earth had become. In her quarters that night, she found Finn staring out at Earth, his reflection ghost-like in the viewport. "You remember it too, don't you?" she asked. "All of it." He nodded. "Every timeline. Every possible future we experienced in that storm." His voice was barely a whisper. "The ones where we stayed divided and angry and human, and the ones where we achieved perfect unity and stopped being human at all. And in every perfect timeline, everyone was happy, healthy, safe, and completely, utterly stagnant." Finn turned away from the window. No one wrote music anymore because the AI could compose perfect symphonies. No one explored because there was nothing left to discover. No one fell in love because the algorithms had optimized all relationships. Reese appeared in the doorway, her medical scanner in hand. "I've been analyzing the neural patterns from Earth's population. The Harmony Network isn't just connecting them. It's homogenizing them. Individual thought patterns are being smoothed out, averaged with everyone else's. They're becoming a hive mind," Zara said. "Worse. They're becoming boring." The three of them sat in silence, contemplating the impossible weight of their knowledge. They had seen humanity's future, and it was beautiful and terrible and utterly without hope. "So what do we do?" Finn asked finally. Zara thought about Director Yates' patient smile, about the jazz-hold music, about Earth's perfect green continents. "We could tell them the truth. Scream it from every communication channel until someone listens. And watch them dismiss us as trauma victims having shared delusions," Reese added. "Or we could stay quiet. Let them have their paradise. While knowing that in 200 years, the last truly human thought will be processed through the Harmony Network and averaged into nothing." They sat with that for a while. Finally, Zara stood up. "There's a third option." She walked to the viewport and placed her hand against the cool surface. Below them, Earth turned in its slow dance, perfect and doomed. "We become the chaos they need. The unpredictable element their perfect system can't account for. We stay angry, stay curious, stay human, and hope that our refusal to join their paradise plants seeds of doubt in a few others." "You want us to become professional troublemakers," Finn said. "I want us to be the reminder of what they gave up. The living proof that perfection isn't worth the price they paid." Reese smiled for the first time since they'd arrived. "You know what? I can live with that." "Good," Zara said, turning away from Earth's perfect face. "Because tomorrow, we're going to refuse Director Yates' generous offer of neural integration. We're going to be difficult, inconvenient, and stubbornly human. And maybe, just maybe, we'll remind a few people what they used to be." Outside the viewport, Earth continued its slow rotation, beautiful and peaceful and utterly without hope. But for the first time since they'd returned, Zara felt something that might have been optimism. After all, every perfect system needed a little chaos to keep it honest. The three of them smiled at each other, and in that moment, they were the most human things in the solar system.